There is so many hungry fighters coming.
Yeah.
And they don't like trash talk. They just come, smash people, and take money.
There's a claim spreading online that the UFC is secretly firing or removing Dagestani fighters, and that Khabib exposed this in an interview. The headlines are dramatic, but the truth is more straightforward. In this video, I'm focusing only on what was actually said, what was officially reported, and what can be proven when you strip away exaggeration. The discussion began after comments made by Khabib Nurmagomedov at the World Sports Summit in Dubai. Those comments were reported by multiple MMA outlets after clips circulated online. Short clips from his talk spread quickly on social media. MMA news sites reported on his comments, and then smaller pages pushed the story further. As it traveled, criticism of MMA business practices slowly turned into claims that the UFC was targeting fighters from Dagestan. Khabib spoke about MMA being treated as entertainment rather than a pure sport. He said fighters are often judged not just on winning, but how well they sell fights. According to him, trash talk, drama, and personality now matter a lot in the UFC. He also said he feels conflicted about the current system because many hungry fighters coming up prefer to focus on fighting rather than trash talk or self-promotion. He mentioned Dagestani fighters as an example. He explained that many of them focus on training, wrestling, discipline, and winning, and that this can clash with a system that rewards loud personalities. He suggested that business incentives and promotional politics can affect opportunities for these fighters.
But a lot of young guys coming, a lot. I have couple gyms in Dagestan. There is 500 amateur guys. They all want to be like champion. And they all good. What we gonna do with them?
He did not present evidence of an official UFC rule against Dagestani fighters. His point was about incentives in business decisions, not a confirmed nationality-based policy. Dagestan is widely known in MMA for producing high-level wrestlers and champions. Fighters from the region are usually quiet, disciplined, and results-focused. Their style is often wrestling-heavy and control-based. Hardcore fans respect it, but casual viewers sometimes find it less exciting. Khabib used Dagestani fighters to explain how elite athletes can struggle in a business driven by personality and hype. That is very different from claiming they are being removed because of where they come from. UFC fighters sign contracts for a set number of fights. Once those fights are completed, the UFC can renew the contract or let it expire. In most cases, this is not a firing, it is simply a contract not being renewed. Fighters can also be released for inactivity, injuries, or performance issues. The UFC does not explain every roster decision publicly. This lack of detail often leads to rumors. What can be said accurately is that there is no public UFC statement, document, or dataset proving a nationality-based effort to remove Dagestani fighters, and the reporting that sparked this debate does not provide that kind of proof. Many articles connected Khabib's comments to the UFC not renewing Rinat Fakhretdinov's contract. Multiple outlets reported that his UFC contract expired and was not renewed despite a strong UFC run. That part is accurate. The confusion started when online posts called this a firing and labeled him as Dagestani. Most reporting describes him as a Russian fighter, and the key point is that he publicly stated that no one fired him. He explained that the contract simply ended, and then the UFC chose not to re-sign him. Major MMA outlets like MMA Fighting and Yahoo Sports framed the story as Khabib criticizing the business side of MMA, especially the idea that entertainment and trash talk can outweigh merit. They noted he referenced Dagestani fighters as an example. Some viral sites used stronger language in headlines, but the articles still relied on the same summit comments. None provided UFC statements, documents, or statistics proving a targeted policy against Dagestani fighters. Khabib criticized the system. Media summarized it. Social media exaggerated it. A discussion about entertainment versus merit turned into claims of discrimination. Saying fighters are disadvantaged because they do not promote themselves is not the same as saying they are being removed because of nationality. Only the first claim is supported by evidence. The UFC operates as both a sport and a business. Winning fights matters, but so does selling events. Fighters who connect with fans often get more opportunities. Khabib's frustration comes from seeing skilled fighters struggle in this environment. His concern is about priorities, not proof of unfair targeting. The UFC has not released any statements saying it avoids Dagestani fighters. There has been no change in official scouting or signing practices. Fighters from Russia and the Caucasus region are still active on the roster. If a real policy existed, there would be clear patterns or confirmation. None have appeared. Khabib is worried about MMA drifting away from being a merit-based sport toward a more entertainment-driven model. He wants skill and dominance to matter more than hype. Using Dagestani fighters as an example highlights that concern. It does not prove a targeted campaign against them. Khabib criticized how the UFC and other promotions prioritize entertainment. He said many disciplined fighters, including those from Dagestan, are hurt by this system. That claim is accurate. There is no solid evidence that the UFC is firing or removing Dagestani fighters because of nationality. The viral version of this story goes far beyond what was said or proven. This issue is about the direction of MMA, not discrimination. It's about whether the sport should reward winning alone or balance competition with entertainment. Understanding that difference is important. Mixing opinion with unproven claims is how misinformation spreads in MMA.